Hey guys, so we're working today on Piano Method Level 1B, page 8. And this one is all about the sharps, right? And I don't, if you've hit this before, great. If you haven't, just kind of talking about what those are. So the symbol, you can see it over here, right up here, that little, it looks like a number sign. And when you type them, when you print them, it does look like a number sign, but it's called a sharp. So the little box on the right says new symbol is a sharp. A sharp sign before a note means to play the next key to the right. The next key may be black or white. So for in this example, they've got a C sharp, right? So instead of playing a regular C, you're going to play the key to the right, which is black. This one, C sharp, right? Let me just show you on the piano. So there's a few funny things that happen with sharps. So here's our C sharp. So we'd play this key instead of a regular C, just replace it. Any other, like if you had like a G sharp, similar thing, you're just going to play this black key. Usually you can use the same finger, but like thumbs, not so easy to play up there. So sometimes you substitute fingers, but you just want the G, but to the right. Okay. If you have like a B sharp, that ends up being a white key because there's no black key in here. So usually the sharps are black keys, but sometimes like the B sharp is a C, is the same thing, or an E sharp is an F, same thing, right? So it's kind of weird in those spots that have two white keys. All right, so looking at this piece, so they say to set up, basically it's G position, right? Regular G position, except that sometimes your C's are sharped. So if you look at this piece where it starts, third finger on the B, right? This is just regular G position, and you have regular C's here. That's just a C, that's just a C. As you go along, then in the end of that first line, then you have a sharp on the C. So that means your hand position, you're here, right? G position, but sometimes you're just sticking your finger out to catch that sharp. And as we progress through these next many pages, actually, we're going to be working more and more with black keys. So instead of trying to play out here, the more you can play inside, the easier it is in the long run anyways. But that way you're really close to the black keys when you need them. Because if you're out here, you really have to go and find them. But if you're in here already, then it's just right next door, right? It's easier. All right, so let's just play a little right hand, starting right at the beginning. We're just going to play this line just to catch that sharp. Okay, so from the top. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. The sharp, and the next line, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it continues on. The rest is not challenging, but again, just to see it, I'll play it one more time watching my hand. So 1, 2, ready, go. 1. And then find the sharp. Right, and then you're just going to come back again because you have white keys coming up. Okay, so not too hard. The rest of it is just working as usual on counting, right? You got quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter. So if counting is still challenging for you, as you're counting 4 beats in the measure, typically you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you can also count what we call stitches, which we talk about in the basic timing too, but counting 2 little beats on this one, and then 1 on each 8th note. So instead of counting 4 beats, count 8 beats in each measure, 8 little beats. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Or you can count 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, right? It ends up adding up the same, but make sure your long notes are definitely twice as long as your short notes, whatever makes sense to your brain. All right, so a quick look at the left hand. It's still in G position also, right? Doesn't do anything really fancy. You've got long notes, right? So just really getting used to each hand. So let's take it from the top. We're going to do just one hand at a time first, and then both hands together. I'll stick this up here so I don't have to hold on to it. And then you can see my hands. Okay, so right hand, 1, 2, and ready, and go, and 2, 3, 4. And third line. 2, 3, So that poco rit means a little slower, slowing down a little bit. Okay, left hand, again, it's also G position. Here's your middle C, right? So it's under that left hand. Okay, right from the top. 1, 2, ready on that G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, and then quieter. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and then slowing down. So a couple things about playing loud and soft. Most of you, I think, have done this stuff before, but there's 2 things that control volume, right? One is distance, right? The bigger your gestures, the louder it is, and the smaller your gestures, the quieter it is. The other thing is the speed of your fingers, right? So even if you're close, if you're playing it quickly, right? A fast attack, then it'll be louder. A slow attack, even from up high, as long as you're slowing down as you come into the key, then it'll be quiet. So 2 of both those things. All right, so from the top, hopefully both hands. Anytime you want to stop, repeat, pause, whatever makes sense to you, great. But we'll take them both together. Okay, so page 8 from the beginning. 1, 2, and ready, and go, and. Slowing down, 3 and 4. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions.